The smartest AI on the planet is about to get a price tag most people will refuse to pay. This is the Intelligence Index, an independent scoreboard of frontier AI models, and the bar on top is Claude Fable 5. On July 12th, it comes off subscription plans. After that, it costs $10 per million tokens you send it, and $50 per million it writes back, the highest public price of any mainstream AI model.
And that is one lab in 1 week, where everybody moved at once. Between July 1st and July 12th, Anthropic brought its best model back from a government-ordered suspension. SpaceX's AI division launched Grok 4.5. OpenAI shipped GPT 5.6 in 3 sizes. Meta released Muse Spark 1.1. And Google, the only one missing from the party, is holding Gemini 3.5 Pro until mid-July. 5 companies, 4 launches, 10 days, and every one of them is playing a different pricing game. Here is the whole board and how to read it like an analyst.
Start with the strangest story on the timeline. Anthropic launched Claude Fable 5 in early June, and 3 days later, US export controls forced it offline. The company could not verify users' nationality in real time, so it suspended the model for everyone. On July 1st, with the controls lifted, Fable 5 came back, and Anthropic included it in paid plans as a promotion. Subscribers could spend up to half their weekly usage on it at no extra cost. The promo was supposed to end July 7th. Users pushed back hard enough that Anthropic stretched it to July 12th. Then, the meter starts.
That meter is the story. $10 in, $50 out, per million tokens, prepaid. Anthropic says it wants Fable back inside subscriptions once it has the capacity. Until then, the smartest model on the board is being rationed like a scarce commodity. Because right now, it is one. OpenAI went the opposite direction. Sell intelligence at every price point. GPT 5.6 spent 2 weeks in a limited preview after the US government asked to review its cyber capabilities first, an unusual gate for a commercial model launch. On July 9th, it went fully public as 3 models named after the Sun, the Earth, and the Moon. Sol, the flagship, costs $5 per million tokens in and 30 out. Terra, exactly half that. Luna, $1 in and 6 out. Whatever you are paying for AI, OpenAI now has a model at that price. Then there is the cheap one that is fast. Grok 4.5 launched on July 8th from SpaceXAI, that is xAI, rebranded after Elon Musk folded it into SpaceX. $2 per million tokens in, 6 out. And on independent measurements, it is the fastest frontier model, streaming close to 100 tokens per second. On raw intelligence scores, it sits 4th. On price and speed, nothing above it comes close. Creator channel World of AI ran it through hands-on coding tests within a day of launch, spinning up working apps in minutes. How Grok got cheap and good at code is the most interesting mechanism of the week. In June, SpaceX announced a $60 billion all-stock deal to buy Cursor, the most popular AI coding editor. The deal has not legally closed. It is expected later this year, pending regulators, but the training already happened. Cursor says Grok 4.5 was trained jointly with SpaceXAI on trillions of tokens of Cursor data, how real developers actually work inside real code bases. So the loop runs like this. SpaceX's Colossus supercomputer trains the model on Cursor's data. The model ships as a default option inside Cursor and Grok build. Developers use it, and that usage becomes the next round of training data. Musk says the model has 1.5 trillion parameters. That number comes from him, not from a spec sheet. Early users are already pushing it past pure software. Creator Dylan Small designed a working ducted drone with Grok 4.5 inside Cursor, letting the model drive a CAD tool directly. The kind of workflow both companies are betting becomes normal. Meta's entry looks different on purpose.
Muse Spark 1.1 went into public preview on July 9th from Meta Superintelligence Labs, the division Alexander Wang runs. It reads screens and video, holds 1 million tokens of context, and is built to operate software the way a person does. In Meta's launch demos, it builds a chat app, takes screenshots of its own interface, spots the visual bugs, and fixes them. Nemanja Divjak's Automate Like Crazy channel recut that official Meta demo, and you can see the important part here. The model looks at its own work before it patches it. Meta's evaluation report shows it leading the big agentic tool use benchmarks, the tests that measure how well a model runs apps and tools, while placing third on coding. That fits the plan. Meta does not need a model that wins coding leaderboards. It needs one that can run agents inside Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, and a pair of smart glasses, apps with billions of users already.
And Google? Google blinked. Gemini 3.5 Pro, its answer to everything above, is reportedly coming July 17th after a delay. Google itself only says it is on the way. Meanwhile, Gemini 3.5 Flash quietly holds the value tier, wired into Soch, Android, Workspace, the Gemini app, and enterprise contracts. Google can afford to be late because its models ship inside products people already use every day. But for one more week, the board shows 4 players and an empty seat.
Now the part most coverage skips, what the scoreboard actually says. The most watched coding benchmark right now is DeepSWE, over 100 original long-horizon software tasks in private repositories, so models cannot have memorized the answers. And every model runs in the same test harness. The latest results? GPT 5.6 Sol passes 73% of tasks, plus or minus 3 points. Fable 5, 70%, plus or minus 4. GPT 5.6 Terra, also 70, plus or minus 3. Look at the error bars. They overlap. On this test, the top 3 are in a statistical tie. What is not a tie is the bill. Sol costs around $8 per task. Terra, under $5. Fable 5, over $21. More than double the flagship it just tied with.
Before you crown anyone, 3 warnings. First, the harness. The same model scores differently depending on the software scaffolding that runs it, and many published charts pair each model with its own company's coding product, which flatters everybody. Second, effort. These scores come from models running at maximum reasoning effort, which is also the most expensive setting. Dial it down, and the score and the bill both drop. Third, the tests themselves are now contested. OpenAI just published a critique of a rival benchmark, estimating that roughly a third of its tasks are broken. When the labs have started auditing each other's exams, a single number on a chart is an opening claim, not a verdict. And remember, Grok 4.5 and Muse Spark 1.1 are not on the DeepSWE board yet at all. The cheapest models are currently the least independently tested. Which brings the money back, because almost nobody pays raw API prices. A heavy Claude user on a $200 monthly plan could burn through far more than $200 worth of Fable tokens while it was included. That is exactly why Anthropic put it back on a meter. A $20 ChatGPT subscription bundles usage that would cost real money at Sol's API rates. Cursor and Super Grok plans fold Grok 4.5 into flat monthly pricing. As rough, illustrative math, a subscription can deliver several times its sticker price in raw compute to the heaviest users. But none of it is unlimited. Every plan carries rate limits, weekly caps, and policies that can change with a single blog post. July 12th is the proof.
So watch 3 things. Whether developers actually pay premium credit prices for Fable 5, or slide down to Opus 4.8 and Sol and decide the last few points of intelligence are not worth triple the cost. Whether Grok 4.5 and Muse Spark 1.1 show up on the independent leaderboards, because a $2 model scoring near the top would break everyone's pricing overnight. And July 17th, when Gemini 3.5 Pro is expected to reset the board again. 10 days turned the AI race into a price war. The next battle is already on the calendar.